All right, it looks like we should be live on the Plurilock LinkedIn page. Welcome back, everyone, to 12 Days of Cyber Christmas, here with Philip de Souza, president of Aurora, Plurilock company. I'm Stephen Boughton, the host, and looking very festive today. I told everyone I forgot my Christmas hat, my Santa hat last time, and that's true, but I got it this time. Welcome, Philip. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Well done, Stephen. You are definitely looking very festive, complete with a stocking behind you. And not to be left out, I did bring my little here. Let me reach for it. Give me a second. Here we go. So, how's that?
That's very nice.
Nice,
What
right?
happens under the mistletoe stays under the mistletoe.
Now, given that we're cybersecurity, and we're going to be talking about, well, to some extent, or a few fear, uncertainty, and doubt topics. I didn't want to really bring out any Grinch headgear, but that one should work. My T-shirt should work, Stephen.
That's definitely well enough. Yeah, we don't want to scare people too much because I think Philip in a Grinch outfit I'd be pretty frightened. And might have to have some type of duel because I'm Santa. It could be a little gamification in cybersecurity. Everyone likes to do that. No, but how are you down in California? I'm assuming there's no snow on the ground where you are. There's no snow on the ground here in Victoria, which is sometimes known as the California of the North or California of Canada. How's it looking down there as far as holiday vibe?
It's beautiful. I mean, we're trying to keep up with Victoria. Victoria is gorgeous. I've been there. I've taken the flight between Vancouver and the island, and it's like a fairy tale. It's gorgeous. And no, there is absolutely no snow in sight, fortunately or unfortunately. And thank you for having me on this show. I made it to the top 12, so I must be doing something right, Stephen. Thank you.
Well, you're doing lots right, I think. And yeah, we're honored to have you because you've been, in cybersecurity a long time. You've got so much wealth of knowledge to share with us, and that's what we're hoping to get a little bit into today. But just quickly, how's it been? How have things been going at Aurora? If those of you who don't know, Aurora is now part of the Plurilock family, so Philip and I are part of the same corporate family. How have things been going in 2021 for you guys?
So very well. Post-acquisition, which happened first quarter of 2021, we hit the ground running, and it's one more exciting item on our list, one more milestone in our 30-year evolution. We're excited. Our team is energized, and we've got some good stuff to show for it. We've had a good year, great top line, great bottom line. From an Aurora point of view, I want to quickly specify that. I'm sure we're going to talk about 2021 as a whole, but Aurora did well. Thank you.
That's great to hear. I'll let the people who are tuning in now rate my Santa hat from 1 to 10.
Okay.
I'm a little bit worried. I think it might get some low reviews because it does look like it's made out of paper, which I'm not sure it might be. But that's
sorry,
great to hear.
I was reaching for my scorecard here. So
okay,
there
we
it
got
is.
a scorecard. That's 10.
Thank you. Well, as long as they're rating you and not me, Stephen, we're good.
That's true. You got that beautiful hair that we can't cover up now.
Thank you.
Let's get into a little bit about themes of cybersecurity, because that's what we obviously both our companies live in that space. 2021 was fortunately one of the worst years on record as far as the amount of total cybersecurity attacks, breaches, whatever you want to call it, amount of money lost, those types of things. How do you kind of see it what are the themes, or what do you think businesses might have learned throughout this year with all that's been going on?
So, thanks, Sam. That's good. Thank you.
It's very nice.
The numbers are up, right? Stephen, everything's up. Our GDP is up as a country. We're giving out more funding. We're doing, $1 trillion infrastructure bill. So the numbers are getting bigger, the good numbers and the bad numbers. It's the story of life. However, the fact remains that cyber activity on both sides, whether it is the mitigation, remediation, and protection piece is up. We're learning, we're faster, we're better. As well as the bad guys are getting really, really good at what they do. Given the fact that, we in 2021 got COVID down to a science, right? Pardon the pun. I mean, we spent 2019, 2020 hoping this thing will get over with. It didn't. Another variant on. And so we've gotten good at living in COVID times. The workforce is dispersed. That only makes matters worse from a cybersecurity point of view because we have no fringe now, right? We'd be working with guys in Asia and Europe and South America. The perimeter is everywhere. And so are the bad guys, right? Because this access is now all moved to the cloud. We're still, if we've got anything on-prem, there's no one watching it, right? Everyone's at home. So put all this together and you have what I call a perfect storm, a perfect cybersecurity storm.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. It is basically the perfect cybersecurity storm, unfortunately, for the reasons that you mentioned. There's been a lot of, we could talk for, you could probably talk for a couple hours about this, but there's been so much, there's been, like you said, there's been way more activity on the criminal side, the bad guy side, but there's also been a lot more activity and kind of successes in some ways, even though there's been more attacks, there's been more successes in different ways, as far as like law enforcement side and like recouping some of the costs. I know there's new strategies that the governments and new frameworks that the government has been putting out as far as like working private and public sector. Going into 2022, what do you hope to see as far as trends when it comes to commercial businesses protecting themselves from cyber attacks?
So to answer that question, I'm going to back up a little bit. What do I see as trends first, right? Because there are bad trends as well, and we've got to get ready for those. Unfortunately, cybersecurity is not yet a culture, right? We're getting there. Before the cybersecurity budgets were done in boardrooms, and they're like, look, you know what, we need to do this. Today, it's operating expense, right? We definitely put. You've got a lot of friends that
about 10, a 9, a 7. The average there is preposterously high, in my opinion. Thank you, Giannis.
Nicely done. So Stephen, we're getting to a point where we're going to live and breathe cybersecurity as we buy stationery, right? Hey, I need to get paper, I need to get toner cartridge, and I need to make sure that my cybersecurity is up to speed. That's what we hope and wish for. Fact remains that we're not there yet, and so we've got to be aware. Now, I personally, and I feel Nostradamus-like here, but I personally think, and this is not going to surprise you, is that ransomware that was targeting all the big guys will obviously continue, but it's going to go to that next level of mid-sized business. And my biggest fear here is that mid-sized businesses are learning on the fly. They don't have enough resources, they don't have the rhythm, they don't have the cadence, the discipline that they need to be able to protect themselves. So I see that trend happening. Now, to counter that, obviously, we're going to gear up, right? We're putting in a lot more like single sign-on, continuous behavioral analytics, a lot of products that are coming in that are going to be more easily attainable. So you wouldn't need, a CISO to be able to implement cybersecurity strategy. I feel that gap will get reduced, and you'll be able to plan a decent cybersecurity perimeter with the resources that mid-sized businesses have. So that's at least one trend that I see happening in 2022. A better awareness and a better response.
Yeah, we hope for that too. And on the topic of like the mid-sized businesses, do you find that it's for them? It's if a large enterprise gets attacked and they have to pay multi-million-dollar ransom, it's bad. Obviously, pain. It's they don't want that, but they can take that and survive, right? They can pay that ransom and move forward. They have resources, but some of the smaller businesses that if they get hit by some of these things, it's not necessarily a blow that they can like take and keep moving forward. It can be like extremely bad existentially. So do you find it? Would you say it's equally as important for them, even if they don't have as many assets, that they have to be up to date?
Awareness and culture, I think, is big. Our biggest advantages are that we're human, and our biggest disadvantage is we're human. I'm quick to say that whatever cybersecurity you put in place, that nothing is 100%. We all know that, right? If there's someone targets specifically, they stand a chance of getting it, right? And the problem is, as humans, we are going to click on something that we're not supposed to. It's just human nature. Bad guys know this, take advantage of this fact, getting more sophisticated in the way these targeted attacks happen. And on the good news side of the story, we're stepping up on the game, right? Artificial intelligence. Today, AI plays a huge role. Big data and AI are playing a big role. In fact, that's my trend prediction for 2022 is I'm going to see a lot of more AI and big data reliant tools coming into play. And that's what's going to help the mid-sized businesses whose resources are stretched and don't need one more thing to worry about, right? So there was a time when wire fraud was prevalent in the mortgage business. People would intercept the realtors and the escrow company's email and get you to put your mortgage down payment somewhere else. Today, if you try to buy a house, get nothing short of 17 alerts from your banker, from your realtor, from the escrow company telling you, hey, guys, hold on a minute. Don't ever send any money till you look me in the eye and I give you the account number to send it to. So that's where the support system will kick in. It already is. Banks and all our ancillary support systems are getting smarter with multi-factor, obviously, and I see that happening more often as a support for mid-sized businesses.
Yeah, that's great that you're seeing that more, because it's important, like you said. Last question before we go, as far as trends go, is there a type of technology that you think will maybe make the biggest strides in development with that AI, big data, accessibility in the next year, 2022? You don't have to say behavioral biometrics, because since that's Plurilock thing, you don't have to say it. But what do you think? What's kind of exciting you most, I guess, as far as like up-and-coming technologies?
You and I are both in the middle of it, right? It's exciting stuff. The Plurilock product's cool. Unless you give me a reason not to believe, I have seen nothing else. But it's sexy, right? I don't have to worry. I mean, think about a world. So Microsoft's doing this, Broadcom, the security giant, right? $25 billion, $28 billion. They're all going after the same thing. Let's make life easier for our users and bigger, better, faster, more secure. Well, here you have Plurilock Defend that's saying the same thing. Look, you don't have to worry about your passwords. We're going to check. Not only are we going to check, we're going to be checking continuously. So even if you're sleepwalking and you go to your keyboard and type in, we know who you are, right? So that's cool technology, but I see more of this happening. Microsoft's already announced the fact that they don't want more passwords, right? They want to know password. Well, Broadcom's getting there. So our answer to the perfect storm that talked about is being smarter, faster, more efficient, and more secure. And these tools, the beautiful part of this, to end on a happy note, is that they're getting more achievable and attainable and realistic.
Yeah, for all types of companies, not just the biggest enterprises, which is, I think, key. That's great. Well, that's a lot to chew on. That's it's a quick soundbite, but there's a lot of like the main great points there. So I'm excited to see what happens in 2022 on the security front. I feel a comeback coming from the private industry, from the people that continually get attacked. I feel like we're going to get stronger and things are going to get better. But thank you, Philip, for joining me today on the holiday version of the live streams. Yeah, have a great rest of your day down in California. And if people want to connect with Aurora, if they need access to any of your services, where's the best place to find and connect with you?
AuroraIT.com. Domain that's been around for a few decades. But again, thank you so much for doing this. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, some Christmas music, and some snow is on my Christmas list.
Yeah, that's great. You gotta, if in our places where there's not so much snow, we gotta make it kind of, we gotta artificially produce this feeling. So it's great.
True.
Thanks for coming on, Philip. Thank you, Samantha, Yanis, and the other people who've been watching for your very generous ratings of my hat. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll have another guest on. You're gonna have to wait to see who it is, and it's gonna be another great chat. So we'll see you all later. Thanks, Philip.